I was just gonna say, was that something I just said? No. All of a sudden, it got really quiet. Was there a punchline? 30 seconds. Do you really want me to do that? All right. Everybody's having a seat. Very good. It's all right with you, Kev? Can I go ahead and kick it off then? All right. First of all, thank you guys for making it out this morning. This is, without a doubt, one of our most competitive regions, and it is our longest standing, too. P&W and Society of Innovators, you guys are the most gracious guests, and we beyond appreciate it. It really started off by working with great people. I think Matt Wells is the first one to kind of introduce us. Then we start, meeting with people like Jason Williams, Tom Keon, Rachel Clapp. It's just been amazing. And then I'll be introducing you here in a second. But it's been such a great venue for us and a great opportunity to really get to know more students of the region. All right, so before I begin, I want to tell you a little bit about the STARTedUP Foundation before we go into Innovate WithIN. Our core values are, our mission and vision is to teach students to view life through a lens of innovation, entrepreneurship while building a life of purpose. And our vision is to help build a generation with an opportunities are everywhere mindset, fueling innovation and hope for our communities, country, and the world. Long story made short, we get students to see problems as opportunities. I think adults are really great about this, at pointing out what's not good in the world. And it's called social media. And what we want is for students to go, okay, if those things aren't working, what sayest thou? What do you want to do? How do you form a team? How do you break down a problem? And so I think that's one of the things we really like about this competition is that we're not having a business for the sake of a business. What problem are you solving? Every entrepreneur solves a problem. Whether you're hungry or you're bored or I don't know how to pick up the thing without hurting my back. Every entrepreneur solves a problem. So opportunities are everywhere is right up there. And then not everyone has to be an entrepreneur, but everyone should be able to think like one. And I think that's the other part of this journey that's been so rewarding. Some of our students go through this process and go, I love solving problems. I do not want to go on my own. I still want to work for a company, but I want to be an innovator. I want to be an entrepreneur on the inside. And that's one of the core things we do. On the timeline, you are meeting students that have really put a lot of time into the school year. In August, we launch every year. We have a modular curriculum that we ask students throughout the year to see a problem as an opportunity. So from August until about February, we ask them to come up with an idea, make a pitch. On February 21st, it is submitted. Then the culmination of the top 10 teams you see here, several hundred applied to be a part of this region. You're seeing the top 10 teams. And I will say this at the end, sometimes tearfully, I'm telling you, if you've made it here, you have won. You will hear me say that again and again. If you've made it here, you have won. The greatest thing about this competition, in my humble opinion, is the network you're going to build, whether that be the judges that will want to talk to you afterwards, no pressure, or some of the people in the room, or some of the people in our network. If you have the mindset that you want to solve problems, you are in such demand by old people like me because we are heavily depending on our 15, 16, 17, 18-year-olds to go, I can do that. So just know that. So as soon as we have a winner today, we also have 4 wild cards, but the winners will move on. So from May until June, those teams will continue to go and improve. We have some great help from our small business development centers. There is a boot camp that we're going to be running in downtown Indy. And then June 20th, mark your calendars. If you want to be blown away, and I mean blown away, man, we're in downtown Indianapolis is our pitch competition. Please come. It's worth the drive. And then on June 24th, man, do we have an all-star list of people for them to meet. Every year, and just stick with me, every year we go to a city not in Indiana to ironically incentivize them to stay in Indiana. All the building of ecosystem is here, but we still want them to meet and network with people that are awesome, important people from around the country. So this year, we're going back to Washington, D.C., literally out of high demand because we took a group last year and they begged for us to come back. So we're going to go back out to Washington, D.C. All right. Maybe most importantly, thank you to our host and our especially Society of Innovators, Purdue Northwest, as well as our statewide and regional partners, the IEDC, the Legacy Foundation, TechPoint, Circular Venture Lab, the Indiana Small Business Development Center, and like I said before, also the SBDC centers, the winning team, you will be scheduled to have some time with them, and they'll definitely want to help you along the way. All right, up next, we have a video about here at P&W.
Hello, and welcome to Purdue University Northwest. We are a premier metropolitan university located in Northwest Indiana, but in the greater Chicago footprint. P&W is dedicated to empowering transformational change in our students and our communities. My name is Jason Williams, Assistant Director for the Society of Innovators at P&W. Our organization is dedicated to driving economic and community development in Northwest Indiana through entrepreneurship and innovation.
It's important for Purdue University Northwest to support young innovators because they have such creative minds, and that is the future of our economy. The more we can do to support that innovation and give it a platform to thrive, it helps all of us, and it's going to benefit the way Northwest Indiana evolves. We don't know what the next technologies will be, but it's probably locked in the mind of a high school student right now. Dare to dream, and we can help make those dreams a reality.
At P&W's mission, vision, core value, innovation is one of the keywords. The reason is our university committed to solve real-world problems. We do a lot of applied research. And now, because changing world and rapid growth technologies, you need more innovation. I always tell students, dream big, be open-minded, always think a different perspective.
Well, one of the strategic goals of Purdue University Northwest is to foster innovation and entrepreneurship. And part of the reason is that it generates the economic development in the region. And that means that new companies, new jobs, new investment. I think this is the great time for any high school students to consider Purdue University Northwest because it does foster creativity and innovation. It has the resource, faculty resource. It's outstanding facilities for laboratories, so they can be creative and they can come up with innovative ideas. That Purdue Northwest is the place to go, where they can actually thrive in terms of creativity and innovation. Purdue University Northwest right now have some programs in the emerging areas, artificial intelligence, for example, cybersecurity, and the decarbonization aspect of it. So I think it is an exciting time for high school students to consider Purdue University Northwest because they can actually do things which will interest them, and down the road it will be for the good of the society and the world.
Innovate WithIN is a statewide business pitch competition, but we know that there's something special happening here in Northwest Indiana. We look forward to hearing all of the region finalists as they present the solutions to the problems that they see in the world. Far too often we hear people talking about investing in high school students as a means to invest in tomorrow's leaders. Well, we know that by hosting Innovate WithIN, we get a chance to see today's leaders sharing their ideas for today's problems. One of the exciting elements benefits of serving as the host for the Innovate Within region competition is that P&W is able to offer several incentives to any of the students participating in this year's Innovate Within. For any student across the state that simply applies to the Innovate Within competition, if you enroll as a P&W student, you'll earn a free book scholarship for your first year at the university. For any student that wins the region finals and you enroll at P&W, you'll receive a one-year non-renewable scholarship for your tuition. And then any student that goes on to win the state competition, if you enroll at Purdue Northwest, you'll receive a full one-year non-renewable scholarship that covers tuition and room and board. For more information about the Innovate Within region finals happening at Purdue Northwest, you can visit innovatewithin.org or pnw.edu/SOI for Society of Innovators. Hello, and welcome.
All right, please welcome Chris Halford, Chancellor of Purdue Northwest.
Is that one on?
Yeah. All right.
Got it. So I want to reiterate those comments again. If you're here today, you're already a winner. You will be one of the regions, states, or national leaders at some point. And at Purdue Northwest, we'd love to have you here at our institution. I guess that's our sales pitch to all of you. So welcome today to Purdue University Northwest. We're happy to support competitions like Innovation Within, or Innovate Within, and we're certainly pleased to be the campus host having you on our campus here today. Congratulations for your success thus far, and good luck making it to the finals. At P&W, we recognize the significance of what you've been able to accomplish in high school. Innovation is important to P&W. We have included that value, transforming lives through innovation, as part of our strategic plan for this institution. We believe in driving progress where creativity and forward thinking thrive, and cutting-edge technologies, curriculum, pioneering research, and community collaboration are important. That progress begins in all of your minds. We have invested in creative resources and partnerships that promote out-of-the-box thinking and solutions that meet the needs of our students and our communities. You have the opportunity, as mentioned by Jason, to earn scholarships to come here because we believe in innovation. There have also been several Innovate Within alumni who continue to grow their businesses here in Northwest Indiana and are starting to give back to the community through their organizations. I understand that you're competing for the state finals today. Good luck to all of you. Thank you.
All right, next I'd like to invite Dr. Rachel Clapp-Smith, the Dean of Purdue's Northwest College of Business, to share a few words. Rachel.
Good morning, everybody. Ooh, innovation is happening right here in front of my eyes. Great. How's everybody doing? Great. Well, I'm Rachel Clapp-Smith, and I am very privileged to serve as the Dean of the College of Business and here at Purdue Northwest. And I love my job because I get to come see things like this. So I couldn't be more excited to be here with you today. On behalf of the college, it is my pleasure to welcome you and echo Chancellor Holford's comments. We are very proud to be the host once again for this event because of what Innovate Within is doing across our state. It is truly transformational. It is a perfect alignment with our mission in the College of Business, which is that we're a place where opportunity and innovation come together to shape the future of business and leadership. So I am really pleased that we get to be with you today. So I'm going to ask the students in the room who are pitching a question. How many of you woke up this morning and said, "Oh, I can't wait to stand in front of a panel of judges and a room full of strangers and pitch my idea"? Pretty exciting, isn't it? And I'm sure there might be a little bit of uneasiness, maybe some dread mixed in there, but I want to assure you that what you are doing today takes tremendous courage, creativity, and confidence. And so that already makes you stand out. And I think I'm going to be the third person to say that if you're here today, you are a winner, right? This is, I just think you should take a moment to pat yourself on the back and realize that being here does take a lot of courage, and I want to congratulate you on that. Now to the observers in the room. So let's give the students a round of applause. If we could. So for the rest of us in the room who get to observe today, we are going to hear from these very talented students the seeds of the next big breakthrough. I think what's most exciting is that this is coming from innovators who are already thinking about how to solve real-world problems and that are going to make our communities stronger. And since I think this is maybe the fourth Innovate WithIN that I've been able to observe, it's been fun to see how the winners how their companies have evolved and the differences they're already making. So I'm excited to see what comes next today. I want to thank the STARTedUP Foundation, the Society of Innovators, and all the teachers in the room for your work in making this a reality and for inspiring our next leaders. This competition isn't just about building great businesses, it's about building mindsets, and Don very beautifully set that up. You're helping high school students develop the skills to take a spark of an idea and turn it into something real, and something that solves problems and meets needs and changes the world. And your support is amazing, and I'm just really grateful that we get to kind of be in your orbit. So I'm basking in the reflective glory of your work. So thank you for that opportunity. And I also want to thank the judges for giving their time today and their creativity. I know that you are doing a lot to make our region stronger and more innovative, and it's really meaningful, so thank you as well. And maybe we could give the judges a round of applause for being here. And so I wanted to conclude by wishing the pitchers today the best of luck. I'll echo it again. You have come so far, and this is the beginning of an incredible journey. And I really hope you enjoy the ride, because we're going to enjoy watching you on that ride. So good luck and have a wonderful day. Thank you.
All right, speaking of judges, you guys have been so gracious giving your time. Could you guys please introduce yourselves? We'll start here and work our way down. You just got volunteered to go first. Thank you.
That would be the first step. My name is DJ Moore, not the Bears wide receiver. It was my name first in my defense. I own a business called Erosion and Sediment Solutions, or Erosion Control Solutions. Siltworm is our product that we make, so we do basically erosion and sediment control for construction sites, those black tubes you see around stuff. You know, I think a perfect example of innovation, you know, not all innovation is sexy. It's not AI. It's not the most cutting edge thing, but finding that idea, finding that niche, finding that need is what's important, and you can turn that into a really, really good life. And just to echo what everyone said, you know, this is about developing that mindset, and that's why I'm so passionate about this. So everyone's a winner, kinda. So.
Yeah. Okay. Good morning. My name is Kristen Burton. I am assistant professor here at PNW for entrepreneurship. Happy you guys are here. Looking forward to hearing all of the presentations today. Would like to give a pitch for our camp that we're going to have this summer for entrepreneurship. So if you are a high school student and you want to work on your business, you want to refine your pitch, you're in the audience and you're like, I want to do this, we would love to have you this summer for 5 days learning about entrepreneurship and creating your idea and your pitch. So please, please, please decide to sign up. Come talk to me. I'd love to share more with you. Thank you. Okay.
We'll just go this one up. Okay. Hi, I'm Michael Vesich. I'm the Director of Engineering with SimCorp, and we're located in Merrillville. We produce technology, software, not just any kind of software, but security software specifically. So we're integrated with a lot of different platforms across the industry. We've got a lot of leading customers around the world. In fact, our CEO is departing this morning to go over to the Middle East. Security software, as you're aware, is a lot more than just logging in to your favorite website and keeping your credentials secure. It's a matter of preventing hacks, preventing things from being broken and used nefariously to produce money and revenue for all these people that are on the wrong side of the fence. So we try to produce the best software that we possibly can here within the US, integrate it with other companies to make best of breed solutions that a lot of banks, financial companies, manufacturers, and so forth around the world can leverage to ensure that the integrity of their company and their customers' data is maintained to the best possible levels. Wanted to wish everybody that's competing today the best of luck. Keep in mind that all the products that you're designing and producing are definitely going to be something that you can take forward. The experiences you take forward are going to be even more valuable because this won't be your only idea. That's the big takeaway in my opinion. I've had a lot of ideas over the years. My son, who's at a different university, I actually attended this university. We had ideas with classmates and partners. We came up with some great ones. My son's got some great ideas. He's working with his teams on, well, in general, you're just don't give up on whatever you do. Keep on driving all the different ideas. So thank you.
Good morning. I am Gloria Morris. I go by GoGo. Yes, I actually do go by that. I grew up in a family business. Who's ever heard of John Chico's Menswear? Big, tall, short, small, we fit them all. That is my grandfather's business. I grew up in that, not realizing that I was becoming a business person. I resisted it. Started my first business in 2002, geomarketing. I still have that business as a consulting business. And then 10 years ago, right now, Float 60. Has anybody ever heard of Float 60? Flotation tanks? Very strange idea, and it's lasted 10 years. So that's my second business. My third business is the Great Lakes Sports Hub here in Crown Point. Any athletes in the room? Yeah, I think I recognize some people. So very exciting. By profession, I'm a technologist. So I work for Google full time. How do I do all of that? I have amazing people working on my team. So one of the questions I'll be paying attention to is how are you going to scale your business, because you can't do everything by yourself. So good luck, everyone, and I'm so excited.
Hey everybody, I'm Julie Rizzo, the founder of Recycled Granite. I didn't realize I was an innovator until about 15 years ago when the Society of Innovators kind of helped me discover my business. I started Recycled Granite garbage collecting, and I have 30 locations throughout North America and have recycled millions of pounds of stone. So garbage collect, start, be nervous, and don't ever be afraid, just keep it going. I'm nervous, my heart is beating here, so get up there, be nervous, and just do it. Good luck.
All right, the moment you guys have all been waiting for. So the competition format is the teams will have up to 6 minutes to present. Kevin will be giving you a 1-minute warning should you need it. Then the judges will have up to 4 minutes of Q&A. And then the judges will deliberate up to 30 minutes after the final presentation, depending on the difficulty. Sometimes it may be a little extra. Lunch is provided right during their deliberation. So for student competitors, teachers, and judges, there are a number of options in the food court available as well. Other than that, we are ready. Kevin, are you ready? All right. Please welcome our first team, Septto from Munster High School.
sure if it'll format the same. Okay, gotcha. Thank you. Okay, sorry.
Technical difficulties.
So, a few years ago, my uncle contracted MRSA, a deadly antibiotic-resistant staph infection, just a week after surgery. Every year, there are over 119,000 patients who contract MRSA, and these patients with large wounds and open bed sores are 6 times more likely to come out of it with sepsis and other potentially fatal conditions. But our goal here at Septto is to close that gap and to bring back dignity to aging and vulnerable patients. I'm Alexis, and with my partners Abby and Jocelyn, this is Septto.
Septto is a simple at-home solution for non-invasive tracking and prevention. Our large ergonomic X-shaped bandage is specifically designed to wrap around the joint where wounds might form and other contours of the body where they might develop.
Septto is also plant-powered, using a pH color-changing pigment that changes color from pink to purple to indicate the presence of infection.
The pH color change alerts patients and caregivers for easy detection and accessibility.
Septto provides a peace of mind by ensuring timely intervention when infections arise. So join us and say no to infection with Septto.
We would also like to thank our scientific advisors with that background to help us create a viable product.
So now onto what Septto looks like. Septto is a 5-piece bandage consisting of different materials to offer maximum utility. Our outermost layer has a thin polyurethane film for water resistance. Beneath that, we have a thin silicone adhesive sheet. This features what's known as a soft silicone adhesive, which does not stick to hair with thin and fragile skin, but is also easily repositionable. Beneath this, we have a cotton woven fabric, which has anthocyanins, or that pH-powered pigment. Beneath this is an alginate sheet with the ability to absorb up to 20 times its mass in liquid. And finally, a thin polyester membrane sits in contact with the skin to prevent the bandage from snagging. So our judges also have a follow-along demonstration, which is more detailed in that folder. You could take those solution and squirt it onto the cotton rounds. But as seen on screen, we see what that pH scale change looks like. The pink indicates a neutral reaction, while as infections become alkaline or more basic, it has that color change to purple, indicating the presence of infection.
So why Septto? Septto changes color as infection is identified. It's also plant-powered. It uses natural pigments such as beads. It's non-invasive. It sits on the skin without poking and prodding. And our motto, Septto Saves, allows patients and caregivers to have that easy and fast infection treatment. So now looking at our competitors, we have antimicrobial bandages, rapid testing kits, and smart bandages. Our antimicrobial bandages are just our regular bandages that cover up that boo-boo that you have, but it lacks the active tracking and the ergonomic shape. And then rapid testing kits are very costly and are over the counter, and who wants to read a 30-page manual? Now we have our smart bandages. They're very costly and there's no market for that. And then Septto has all of that covered plus more.
For our market size, we are looking at baby boomers and Gen X. For our total addressable market, these are our caregivers and patients in nursing homes who are receiving wound care. And for our serviceable addressable market, we narrowed this down to those who are retired and are at risk of bed sores and associated illness. And then for our market share, these are our earliest adopters, and these are our caregivers and family members who are looking for a cost-effective at-home monitoring solution.
So now what it takes to make a Septto bandage. Our cost of goods just for a 9x9-inch bandage is $2.94, while our packaging would be 97 cents for a 5x5-inch pocket, similar to a Ziploc bag. Our total cost of goods is $3.91, and our labor and manufacturing is estimated to sit between $30 and $70 an hour. Our price directly from us to our consumers is $9.99, giving us a 60% profit margin. When we look at our 3-year revenue and profit profile, we base this on the medtech industry valuation. In just the US alone, this industry is valued at over $650 billion, with a 6.25% growth rate from 2025 to 2029. We use this to estimate our own growth of 10% between year 1 and year 2, and 12% between year 2 and year 3. With the prize money, we'd like to put the majority of that back into research and development. We've made a lot of big promises with Septto, and we intend to keep those promises. The additional $250 would go back into pre-manufacturing and additional cost, including covering our licensing fees and SG&A cost. With that timeline, in March, we filed for patent pending, and we hold that provisional patent status until March of next year. In May and June, we'd like to further research and design and further work on those clinical trials with the Miro Innovation Center out of Fort Wayne. In late June, with that state final, we'd love to launch an official sales through our website, but we're also working with a representative through the FDA, which we'd love to touch on more in that Q&A. With our traction, our biggest piece is going to be that invitation to work at the Research and Innovation Center out of Parkview Health. We just won the Society of Innovators Pitch competition, and we have been named Purdue Northwest Big South finalist. Finally, our biggest piece of traction is that patent pending status. Again, we'd love to thank all of our supporters and our mentors. We would not be able to make Septto a viable product without you. But the most important part of Septto is that we are working to create a product that not only easily tracks infection, but also makes infection tracking more human. So join us and say no to infection with Septto. We are now open for questions and comments.
Okay. Great presentation. Do you want to talk a little bit about what you're doing with the FDA? I heard you mention that in your presentation.
So we also recently competed in another pitch competition, and we created that contact with a member of the FDA. So with a product like Septto, it would sit in what's called Tier 1 with medtech bandages and along those lines. But the difficult part about this is we're currently seeing a lot of changes in the FDA, and we have that continuous contact with that representative. The problem is, in the next few months, we do not know if there still will be an FDA. But that's not to say we can't follow those guidelines and put that into practice with our own product.
Okay, here's my question. What is your distribution strategy, and who on the team is really kind of leading that piece of it? How did you decide who would do it?
Gotcha. So I'm kind of that financial manager because I hate to say it, but I really like spreadsheets, even though they're not too great sometimes. But with our distribution strategy, our goal is in the first year or two, because we would be going out without that FDA approval. We could still sell, but they would be directly through our website. From year 2 to 3, we'd hope to potentially have that approval so we could sell through other retailers like Amazon, potentially online, or in person with Walgreens and CVS. Our goal is to focus regionally in the first couple years, and don't focus outside of the region until we hit about that 5 to 7 year mark, at around the 9 to 10 year mark, to hopefully look nationally and internationally.
One last question, which is, do you want to talk a little bit about your patent that you have pending?
Yeah, of course. So we've been working with our patent attorney, Dominica Hartman, and with that patent, we filed for it back in March, and we officially have that patent pending status. Because we have that legal protection, it's giving us the confidence to reach out to more manufacturers, and also in that packet, we have a breakdown of each measurement for the bandage. On screen, we have some of those prototypes, as well as our judges have those. But with that patent pending, it's really giving us the ability to go back and make sure we have that backing before we go and make a big move with manufacturing.
everybody. Hi, my name is Hunter Stone. I'm the co-founder and president of the STARTedUP Foundation, and I am so thankful to see so many people in this room. My favorite part of Innovate WithIN every year is seeing how the students are enabled to engage with their ecosystem, learn from the businesses, from the mentors, from the teachers, and the resources in their community. And if I'm being honest, that's the secret sauce of the whole program. It's figuring out those folks that are in your backyard and how you can create meaningful relationships with them, not only to be a better, happier person, but to figure out how you can create real value for your community and receive real value from your community. We've been doing this with students through Innovate WithIN for the last...
Great job on your presentation.
Thank you.
You mentioned Meta in the opening. Given those have like AI, do you intend to put AI into your frames, or what's your plan to kind of compete with a market like that?
So the plan that I have right now, I've seen that there's like the AI with these kind of sunglasses with the apps that there is. I plan on just making it a simple one right now, so it's just a quick press of a button, switch it from one to another. But I have looked into possibly making an app. I just want to get the basic foundation done because I'm going to use electronic lenses to actually do the flip of the lenses. But I have looked into it and like how it play effects, but I would, if I use the app, I would like to use AI probably with that as well.
Is it 3 separate lenses, or is it changing the color of the lenses?
So that's the thing. So I don't know with the 3 lenses. I'm planning like to kind of have it together. Like they're gonna be layered, I think. And then if you press it's gonna switch it from the one to another. So I haven't figured that exactly out.
So
yeah, no, you first. Yeah.
Having a prototype would be nice because I'm having trouble imagining where are the other lenses going. If they're all there, it sounds very bulky.
Mm-hmm.
How much is this weigh? I know, right now, Meta glasses, they're bigger, and it's obvious they're bigger. Also being a pilot myself, I like lightweight glasses. Yeah. So how heavy are these things going to be? I'm trying to feel out what is the prototype really going to look like?
Yeah, so I've been looking at the market for them. I mean, not the market for them, sorry. So there's other like consumers out there that have these similar type. They have the ones, but they're really big and bulky, but you could change it, and you do it through an app. I'm trying to just figure out how to make it as thin as possible, keeping the lightweight, because I do not want to have the big and bulky ones. I want to keep it as simple, so that's why I'm trying to figure out the lenses part. But I plan on using I can't say that word, but lenses for that, sorry.
I was just going to say, I've seen similar technology not used in a practical sense like this, but for the windows on some of the, like the new, Boeing 787, I think that's made by Raytheon. So if you apply for a patent, make sure you get very specific about how narrow it has to be. I used to work with IBM, and that process needs absolute ideas. So investigate those, because I'd like to see some success for you.
Absolutely.
And I also think that they're using a electrochromic layer, so that way it can vary. And so you could actually vary the amount. That might help you with some of your thoughts on that.
Okay.
But yeah, I really like the marketing strategy you've got for that. I think that could also apply for people that are, as you said, driving and not just pilots. So make sure that you've got all those opportunities weighed out. That'd be some great marketing there.
Thank you. All good?
One more.
Oh, one more? Okay.
Do you have a licensing strategy? Have you thought about, just because it's such a competitive market with sunglasses, right? And there's like one provider out there that creates like 90% of them.
Yeah.
So maybe thinking about a licensing strategy would be an interesting approach.
I haven't thought of a licensing strategy. I kind of just think of make the product and work on from that. Kind of just take one step at a time, not overwhelm myself with multiple stuff at once.
Awesome.
Thank you.
All right. Before we move on to our next pitch, we'd like to thank our 2025 state finals host, Butler University's Lacey School of Business, where at least one of the teams that you're seeing today, you can cheer on as they compete against the other state finalists at the Innovate WithIN June 20th competition in downtown Indianapolis. So they've given us a quick message to share. Butler University is the proud host of Innovate Within State Finals and offers a unique blend of opportunity and community. At the Lacey School of Business, student entrepreneurs thrive through personalized mentorship and real-world business experiences. They're a proud partner of StartedUP because they share our commitment to fostering an entrepreneurial ecosystem where students can develop their ventures while still pursuing their education. So come see Butler's commitment to innovation firsthand by joining us for the state finals on their campus, where you'll see how they are collaboratively supporting Indiana's next generation of student entrepreneurs. So please welcome now from Lowell Senior High School, our next team, Nightshine.
Good morning, my name is Allison Miedema,
And I'm Miles Deal.
And our product is Nightshine because Nightshine works in the darkness.
So, have you ever experienced a night like this when you're driving down a dark road and then the oncoming traffic just starts blinding you because it's so dark? The lights are just so bright and it's really hard to see. So you try to look over at the white line, but it doesn't really help. So before we get into the problem, who are we?
Both me and Miles go to Lowell Senior High School. We are both class of 2028 and we are known as the iconic duo. My name is Allison Miedema. I play 2 sports, tennis and volleyball. And I have an eye astigmatism, which is kind of the reason how I came up with this problem, because lots of people with eye astigmatisms, the glare is reduced 2 times the amount. And I want to help other people that have this problem as well, or anyone that has trouble seeing.
So I'm Miles Deal. I manage boys tennis and I play girls tennis. So I have blue eyes. So seeing like bright lights is also hard already. But when you're driving and it's dark and then it just shines, it blinds you. So I came up with this problem because during the winter I took tennis lessons in Valpo, and it was like in the middle of nowhere. So we would have to drive down dark country roads to get home. So when the oncoming traffic, it was just so blinding, and even though it's mostly for the driver, the passengers also get blinded. And we've heard a lot of people complain about this, but no one's really doing anything.
That's kind of the exact same way for me as well, is just coming home late at night from those practices. I texted Miles, I was like, this is a problem we need to fix, and no one's doing anything about it.
So the problem. So we all know that LED headlights have been getting more and more popular over the years and also brighter and brighter. So that's one of the problems because they're so bright and blinding. And also if you don't have the LED headlights, you might have poor headlights. So if you have poor headlights, that might cause you to turn on your brights and then forget that they're on because you can't see without them. So this could cause car crashes, like swerving like off the road and everything like that. And so eye astigmatisms are hard because every 1 in 3 people have them, but they already struggle seeing near and far distances, so the brights just make it even harder. And people just forget to turn them off if they have them on.
Here's our solution. In front of you guys, we have kits, and that big box has the actual kit. We would provide you guys with the film that reduces headlight glare. We provide you with a microfiber towel, a squeegee, soapy water, so then you guys are able to do a self-at-home kit instead of having to go to professionals to spend even more money on doing it. This kit will help you just reduce all the glare, and it's an easy solution to do at home. Here's our competition. Our main competition is Duco. Duco is a company that sells nighttime glasses. A problem we saw with this was you can get scratches, smudges, forget to bring it into the car. But a common problem we saw is people who already have glasses. They can't use this product like how ours is though, where it's already installed into your car for you. After coming up with lots of variable prices on all of our materials we used to make the kit, we came up with the cost of $35.65. We would sell it for $89.99, and we got all of our measurements based off of a USB windshield.
So our target audience would be parents with kids, new drivers, and the elderly. So first, parents with kids, especially new parents, they're worried about their kids, and driving at night with the bright headlights shouldn't be one of their concerns. So we want to give them our product to help them ease their mind. So new drivers, they're learning everything about driving right now, and they shouldn't be scared to drive at night. So our product will also help ease their mind. And finally, the elderly, a lot of elderly already struggle with eyesight, so our product will help them and their eyes.
Here's a couple of statistics we found. There were lots of statistics backing up our reasoning on how this is a commonly known problem that no one is fixing. Our main statistic we wanted to focus on was how half of all accidents occur at night, and with that, 12 to 15% are from high beams. The number of accidents caused by the glare of high beams is 12 to 15%, and that rate is still continuing to grow over the years. After looking at an article, we found this from, it was a statistic showing that 95% of Americans agree that the headlights are getting brighter over each year. 5% disagreed, and 3% were unsure.
So we sent out a local interview asking, what is your biggest problem while driving at night? In total, we got 40 responses saying that 55% struggle with headlights, 35% struggle with glare, 7.5% struggle with seeing the road, and 2.5% struggle with other, which would be an option that wasn't already there. So giving back, we want to give 10% of our profit to the nonprofit of Driver's Ed. So this foundation is something that it teaches young drivers how, like, the rules of the road that you don't get taught in driver's ed, and also like what to do in case of emergencies, and they have free signups, and yeah.
If you would like to contact us with following information, here's our contacts.
Great presentation, ladies. I would like to ask a question about, is it the product? Is it a tint, almost like you would have on your regular windows, and how is it a little different?
So actually in the state of Indiana, you have to have a clear film or else it's illegal, and most people have to sign waivers agreeing that yes, it's illegal, but they're still going to put it on their car and they can get pulled over. This is just an example of something we want to do, but obviously we would want to have a clear one, and you could either do it to the full windshield or just the central view on where it's affecting you most.
So you guys did that? Like, is that your prototype?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so my concern would be, I mean, you could see all of the seams in there. I mean, everyone sees bad tint jobs. How are you going to ensure that when people do the self-install, they don't end up with all of those wrinkles and creases in there?
What you can do is you can actually just take a pin to take out the air bubbles. We did this today, and it only took us about 10 minutes to do it, but obviously we didn't have a pin on us, but you could do that to help ensure it.
So you mentioned the target markets. Who would you go after first, and how?
I would say we would probably go towards the elderly, because that is a large scale for us to go for, especially because most of them are already struggling, and as they get older, their eyes are weakening, so they would be our first target. Maybe around like 60s and older. Yeah.
Have you considered distribution channels as well? since there's already companies that are doing window tinting on the other windows of the cars, this would be an easy way for you to get the product out there to expand their audience as well as yours. So just curious if you've looked into distribution options.
So we wanted to start like in the Northwest Indiana, and then once our company starts growing bigger, we would start expanding through Indiana, and then maybe someday like the whole, like every state.
And we would sell it through car dealerships, automotives, junkyards, or anywhere where you could like go and fix cars.
All right, let's get another hand for all the students that have competed so far. This is great. Always really fun. So you've heard me say it, and I'll say it again and probably 1,000 more times today, but the biggest point of today is not only finding incredible problems to solve, but it's bonding with that ecosystem, getting engaged with the mentors, the businesses, the folks from your community that can really provide value. One of our favorite partnerships is with the Indiana Small Business Development Centers, and they've been such an incredible ecosystem partner because they are a resource statewide that anybody has access to that has gone through the process of mentoring and consulting with all 60 of our statewide regional finalists. So in preparation for each of these regional finals, they've worked with their local ISBDC office to continue to get their idea more market ready. So representing the Northwest Indiana region of the ISBDC, I'd love to welcome now the Regional Director, Lori Felt, to share a few words.
Hi, everybody. I am here representing the Indiana Small Business Development Center, but I feel like I'm a fan, first and foremost, of the Innovate WithIN competition. This is intense and fantastic, and we appreciate all of the pitches and the effort that went into them. As Hunter pointed out, our team of advisors does meet with each of the teams presenting today, and it's a privilege for us to do so. We really enjoy working with the students. So I see in back some of my colleagues, Judith and Julia and Eric, as well as Al and Jennifer, had the opportunity to meet with the teams today. We also connect through with the Indiana Economic Development Corporation, the state agency involved in economic development, as well as most of us are staff members at West. So this competition means so much to us, to the region, to the community that you're surrounded with. I see more and more people coming into the room, excited to hear the pitches that come next. I hope for those pitching today, you realize you've made the job for the judges very difficult. It's hard to pick just one. But most importantly, I hope this chapter of the story that you're creating for yourselves is an exciting one. I know this is a nerve-wracking and intense and wonderful experience, and we're all, as an ecosystem, here as a community here to support you in whatever you choose to do next. So it's my great privilege to welcome the next presenter, Safety Glow from Hanover Central.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ashton Verbish. I am the CEO, founder, and inventor of my company, Safety Glow. So, the major problem that I saw when I was driving on I-65, as most of us here in the room have before, is the roadside safety issue with disabled semi-trucks. Now, I'm sure everyone here has drove at night or in the early morning and have seen the thousands of disabled semi-trucks, especially here in the crossroads of Indiana. So what I aim to solve is, as you can see on the left, there is a trailer that does not have anything on it that allows it to be seen by fellow drivers. On the right, you've seen what will happen when a distracted driver cannot see the hazard that is at hand and tragically crashes into the back of it. The solution I came up with is a flashing X hazard light that goes onto the back of any commercialized vehicle or semi-trucks, which is my initial target market. As you can see on the right, that is a tanker that I got to set up on the side of US 41. And what it's doing right there, it is allowing those drivers to be able to see the hazard at hand and avoid it before anything tragic can happen. Here is the Tam Sam Sam, which I don't know why it's not in the correct places, but the 23.7 million semi-trucks that are in the entire world, as all of this information I've done research on, and these are the relative numbers that I could come up with because, you know, different sites have different numbers. So you just want to find the one that has the average. So the 3.6 million represents the United States alone. And the bottom number is our beautiful home, Indiana, with 274,068 semi-trucks that are on our roads. The traction I have gained has been really important to leveling up my company. Mott Hanley, which he's in the room in the back, hi Mott, has been really good in allowing me to take my product to the next level. Working with him, we are currently on being able to get a manufacturable prototype that I will take to market, praying to do that by the end of the year. He is the director of CMAC and has done many great things for himself as he wants to do to be able to help with me. Randy Niemeyer and Will Power Excavation, those two have helped me a lot in giving me feedback with their safety guys that they have connected me with, and they would like to be my first 2 customers, which would be fantastic, and I plan to do that here in the coming months. Hartman Global, as the other competitors have mentioned, and a lot of us work with the same patent and pending attorney. I have as well. I'm provisionally patented as of February 8th this year, and we'll have that till next year as well. That is huge, as I will be able to continue product development and be able to then file for a utility patent in the 2026. Here's the financial aspects of things. This is what this prototype is, not the one that is coming up, which the one that's coming up will be able to cut these prices down as I'll look to mass produce the next prototype and allow our roads to be safer. So the prototype production costs. The power bank you see there on the bottom right, $53.49. The 4 suction cups, which 1 suction cup didn't make it, you know, sadly, RIP. $57.94. The 2 LED reels you see on top are $38.50. The 6-foot USB extension, which would allow you to pull that out all across the trailer in any which way, is $962. The total cost per unit then brings it to $159.55, and the retail price would be $399.99, allowing myself to create more units and then keeping a profit for ourselves, because who doesn't like making money? The next steps, as I mentioned, working with Mott will allow me to take that product to the next level, and also Lori, who introduced me, will allow me to find customers and then find manufacturers as well, as me and her have talked about in our recent meetings. At this point, I want to take on investors. I want to take this to the next level, which I know I can if I have the right people to guide me and put their money in me and trust me to be able to make them even more money. So I would like to put Safety Glow on our roads by the end of 2025. This was a long-term goal last year. This is now a short-term goal, and I want to do it as soon as I can. Oh, this is the wrong slide deck, but it's okay. I can show you guys at the end. I have multiple more pictures of what the 3D printed prototype will look like, the new one, but it's okay. We'll work with this one. I have about 5 more pictures that I would like to show you guys. So we'll go, and thank you very much. That was my presentation. Who's ready to be seen and be safe with Safety Glow? Thank you. I am now ready for questions. To start off our question portion, right here you can see a example of how Safety Glow will work on the back of any vehicle. I would like to hear from you guys now. Enough of me speaking.
Great presentation. Question, is this just for tankers, or is this going to be for individuals like who have a car as well?
Yeah, so that's a great question. And actually, when I was over the summer, my dad got a flat tire on I-94 in Chicago, And he was like, why don't you make this for cars too? So that's when I switched over to the different prototype and wanting to create something that can be universal and go on any vehicle that you drive. So your Yukons, anyone who has a car, it can go on any part that is flat. So that's what makes the suction cup so good. And that also, I'd like to bring up the point of when I'm packaging, I'll put in a microfiber towel, is that what it's called? So then if you have it, you'll be able to wipe off the clean part of your vehicle and be able to get the suction that you want to be able to hold up the unit.
Can you walk us through how the driver goes from being stranded on the road to actually putting this on?
Yes. So I would love to walk you through that. So now I'm going to do this as a semi-truck driver because this is the one that I'm targeting the most right now. So the issue that they have when they want to go set out their reflective triangles, which would be my #1 competitor, A, they fly away, B, they break easily, and C, they're not as effective as safety glow. So when they walk out, they're supposed to walk about 500 feet total, 300 to the back, and they're supposed to place one up front. Now, when you're walking that close to the traffic, your odds of getting hit increase immensely, and that's not very safe. So with safety glow, you go straight to the back of the trailer, put it on, bring out each of the arms. This is for the new prototype. And then you're able to press a button and boom, you're good. So that allows you to go back into your safe cabin in the matter of under a minute, which is a game changer.
I'll be a little harder on you because, you did this, you were here last year,
yes.
right? And, you came in second. So what would you say has been your biggest struggle? And, why is this not on shelves already? Why is this, if this is such a viable product, why are we not further ahead?
So I'm so hard on myself, and I want a product that will be able to revolutionize the issue of roadside safety. And I just felt like that I didn't have a product that I wanted to be on market and that was going to be effective enough for my liking. As Kevin's pulling up, that's with the 3D mock-ups that I was talking about. And I ask myself that question every single day. Why am I not further? What am I doing wrong? And I just have to stay persistent and allow everything to move along more smoothly. But it definitely has been the prototype production and being able to get a manufacturable product that I want on the roads.
Good plan now is better than a perfect plan later.
Yes. Thank you. Is that all? Thank you. Thank you. That was a good one. Should I just leave this here?
All right. Thank you so much. So I want to take a minute before the next pitch just to celebrate again some of the incredible partners that we have here. As you heard the folks from P&W share earlier, there are scholarships and other incentives that are offered to students that are participating across the board for any number of reasons, which is great. So I want to take a minute to look at some of those. So that is Purdue University Northwest, Purdue University Fort Wayne, Indiana Tech, DePaul University, Grace College, Old National Bank, and Maker 13. Again, whether this is for students that have just reached out and applied or students that have gone different ways through regionals, through state, there's a variety of incentives because these universities, like us, recognize, hey, these students are up to something. It may not be this idea that takes off. It may not be the next idea, but these are going to be the future leaders of our state, and they see the talent and the potential in the person and not just the idea, which is what we believe dearly as well. So huge thanks to all of our incentive partners here as we're very excited for the next steps. So now, please welcome from Munster High School our next team, Flippy.
Big stuff's gonna be up on the screen. If you're missing out, you can make sure.
You can also like circle things for questions. What makes you happy? What provides you comfort? For me, it's music. Whenever I'm having a tough time, I take comfort in the fact that I can sit down at the piano and just lay my heart out on the keys. However, throughout my musical journey, I've ran into a problem that doesn't just impact me, but impacts the entirety of music. Turning pages. It's simple. You can't play a piece on the piano and turn a page at the same time. That's why my partner Omar and I went to create Flippy, a binder that turns pages with facial gestures. The binder is simple. It has a ball-jointed adjustable phone holder at the top, which you attach your phone to as you download our app so that you can turn pages with your facial gestures. Then, it will also have a quiet turning mechanism at the top, which will turn quietly, which is crucial to targeting musicians. Then lastly, we also will have Type-C compatibility so that it's easy to charge the binder and it's easy to use for everyone. Moving on to our app. Our app's going to be utilizing Kalman filtering, which is a method to track facial gestures that has a 98% success rate. Currently, in our computer science classes at our high school, we use facial gesture technology, and also, with the facial gesture technology, it's also used in Snapchat, Tesla, and this company Fourscore, which uses it for digital page turning. However, we're using it for physical page turning, which is a much bigger market, which we'll get to. There you go. Moving on. Flippy. I'm Brandon Walker.
And I'm Omar Aftab.
And we're Flippy. Moving on. Instead of selling to individual musicians, which is what many would think at first, we actually want to market our product to schools. 92% of schools have music education programs, and of those, 90% of them utilize physical sheet music. This gives us a huge target market of 42 million students that we can sell our product to. Then, with this, we also want to sell our product in two ways, by selling the physical binder and licensing the app. This not only gives us two streams of revenue, one of them on a subscription-based service, which is much more continuing, but also it's what the major top 9 digital companies do. It's easier for schools due to cost-neutral purchasing. Cost-neutral purchasing is a method that schools do where they want to use the entirety of their budget so that they avoid losing their budget. If you don't use it, you lose it. Now, onto our market statistics. We have a total addressable market of 2.4 billion. We got this by multiplying the student number of over 42 million by our price of $99.99. This means it's actually lowballing it as we don't account for subscriptions. We cut it down to a SAM of 65 million as we want to start by geographically targeting Indiana and the Chicago region due to the fact that we need to actually access these schools in person typically to have the best chance of success. In this heat map provided to us by the company DataStory, who believes in our vision, you can see the high density of schools in the Chicagoland area and Indiana. There's hundreds and hundreds of schools here, and it's beneficial for them to use us because of the fact that we're paper sheet music, which I'll cover later. We cut it down to a sum of 250,000 because with the nature of our product, the first few schools are the most difficult schools. However, once we acquire those, we can leverage them to convince other schools to purchase our product for fear of missing out. The only other physical sheet turner on the market is PageFlip and their PageFlip Lite. The issue with it is it's doing too much. It's not targeting specifically musicians, and as a result, it's incredibly loud and uses a pedal system. There's no sound on this here, but it's really loud, and if you want to see the video with sound, we can play it in Q&A. It also has terrible reviews due to the fact that it doesn't target musicians. When we add up the different pieces of our product here, we get a cost of goods sold of $65. Then, when we take in our price of $99.99 and our startup cost of approximately $65,000, remember the prototyping portion of this, we get a break-even point of 1,867 units. This is very attainable by just selling our product to maybe 25 to 50 schools, and after that, it's profit. Back to the prototyping. This is where we want to use the money we get from Innovate regionals. The reasoning is due to the fact that we want to create a prototype of a binder itself as opposed to the facial gesture technology, because that's actually very basic. We needed for this prototyping maybe to hire a 3D modeler again, a programmer to work on supplies, manufacturing, and miscellaneous costs. To hit on the miscellaneous costs, it's especially important. The reason we chose not to get a patent now is due to the fact that it doesn't make legal or economic sense. I'd love to go in depth on this in Q&A. Moving on to traction. We recently competed in the Blue Ocean competition, which generated us a lot of traction not only from the competition head, but also from other people. We showed our pitch, which is a video pitch explaining what our product is, to numerous schools, and our school's choir director told us that not only would he be interested in being an early adopter, but also that he has a large sway over the actual decisions. Oftentimes, schools just go to their music directors, hand them a check, and say, buy what you need to get. So we just need to convince music directors that our product is the one that will be useful for them. This is also us winning the Society of Innovators pitch competition, showing that people do see our product and it can work and it will work, and we believe in it. We've also recently been in numerous news articles, including the PNW News for our Society of Innovator pitch, and in the Northwest Indiana Life. They reached out to us trying to interview us, and we've recently completed that, where we talked about our passion for music and why we believe in our product. At the end of the day, we wouldn't be able to do this, though, without the people who support us. As Mrs. LaFletch, Ms. Harmon, our mentor, we want to thank also Mr. Snell and Project R3D have enabled us to create a vision and a product that not only makes it so that music's accessible to everyone, but also so that people can find their happy place and their safe space. Thank you, and we're ready for questions.
Well done.
Thank you.
Thinking about this digitized version that you're competing with ultimately, where do you think your company will be in 5 years or even 10 years, given the direction of digitization?
I would love to address this here. This is something that we actually thought about a lot. The issue with digital sheet music is it makes it incredibly difficult to annotate and also to structure it in a format that's accessible to everyone. If you have digital sheet music, you now need a digital platform to hold it. So you need an iPad. So that means not only are you getting a digital page turner, but you're also getting an iPad that runs up to $200. Additionally, there's studies that are being released now showing that there's actual physical benefits to using physical sheet music. Many people know how music makes you better at math, things like that. It's especially important with physical sheet music to get the tangible aspect of it. And this provides us a net benefit to using the actual physical sheet music. And 90% of people still use it, and digital sheet turners have been around for a while now. Clearly, if people were going to switch, they would have been doing it at rates that would be much higher than they have. And in 5 to 10 years, for company vision, we have 2 things. One, we want to see our product everywhere as the standard tool that all music education schools use for their students. And 2, we have other plans for our app that my partner would love to address on. However, we don't want to disclose them for legal reasons because they're not protected yet, and we don't want to start a timer on those ideas.
Great job, great job. I wanted to ask a question around the prototype. So I see the one that you've created, have you actually started to make a physical prototype yet?
Yes, if we go back here to Project R3D, will it work? Yes, Project R3D. We're currently working with them to create a physical binder prototype. The engineer, Mr. Podgorski, who we're working with there, has said it's incredibly feasible to do. The issue we've ran into is a resource issue, which is why we're here, trying to acquire the necessary resources to actually be able to get this prototype. But the facial gesture technology on that side, there's a website called Teachable Machine. We've actually been working on training AI to where it can track our faces. And an example is the one machine we have, if you squat, it sends a signal. All we need, a facial gesture, it sends a signal to the motor turns the page. It's very feasible technologically. It's a resource issue, which is what we're trying to solve here.
For the prototype, how durable is it? Like, how often you get to replace it? Because, I mean, we're talking about students, I don't know what level, if it's all the way down to elementary, kids break stuff. I see smashed phone screens all the time with my own kids. So how often do you get to replace this? Yes, it's $100 one time, but how long is that versus, alternative?
With durability. For durability, we've talked to Mr. Podgorski about it, and we have certain features such as the fact that the technology in our product, you know how the binder has the little back spine? We're gonna put it inside there so it's hidden away so that the kids aren't just gonna stick their hands in and pull out wires accidentally. Then at a certain point, it's a binder, so if somebody slams it on the ground, it might get slightly damaged, but hopefully there's not too many kids doing that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for your presentation.
Keep collecting all their stuff now.
All right, everyone, another big round of applause for our first 5 teams today. So at this time, we're going to go ahead and take a brief 10-minute intermission. We'll go ahead and kick off the second portion of our program here right around 10:40.
A lot more to look into, and I need to have all the answers. It's important to start to share the possibilities at a younger age, right? Because we know that our younger demographic, they're capable, they're ready, and they're interested in small business, in entrepreneurship. They have the ability and the skill sets to really do some incredible things for the future. So if we're talking about trying to help affect for a brighter future, it's incumbent upon the Society of Innovators, an organization like STARTedUP, to share that vision sooner.
We've been interested in youth entrepreneurship and innovation education as one of our core principles that came out of our role as the leader of the innovation and entrepreneurism pillar of Ignite, the regional development plan, as we thought about what we wanted to pursue in Northwest Indiana to stimulate innovation and entrepreneurship. We thought that having a base in the youth was an important part of our program, and that of course immediately introduced us to the STARTedUP Foundation.
Not only does this allow for different creation of those practices for the schools, but I think the mentorship portion is really valuable because it allows people to hear different opinions. I think one thing that I express a lot with the folks I was mentoring is that different things are right for different people, and that just because you're coming away from this like business mindset doesn't mean you have to go into business. You can take these tools into the environmental field or the nursing field, and just getting that like one-on-one opportunity to find what's best for the students, I think is the most important part.
When we look at what employers are looking for, they want problem solvers, they want people who think outside the box, and what we do in public education is gear them towards one thing. I mean, that's not for everybody. I think back, if I would have had this class in high school, I would be in a completely different path because it pushes you internally more than it does externally.
I'm overwhelmed with joy because this particular region, this Purdue Northwest always hosts, is among the most practical and market-ready competition we have. This place really truly embodies the see a problem as an opportunity. So many problems that they're tackling, it's just always a breath of fresh air.
I'm Rachel Clapp-Smith, and I'm the Dean of the College of Business at Purdue University Northwest. I really enjoyed watching just the thoughtful and concise presentations. The students had amazing social consciousness to their business idea, and I was impressed by how much background work they did to test the concept and understand market need.
Our experience was really fun. It was great to showcase our idea to everyone and get the feedback from judges to see how receptive everyone really was for our idea. And also listening to other people's pitches is a lot of fun. It's great to see what interests other people have besides our own, and it's amazing to see what students just like ourselves are able to do.
Today, Innovate Within never ceases to amaze. Not only the problems that these kids are identifying in their communities, but the solutions that they're building to address those problems. And again, it cannot be overstated just how well these students do present themselves, just so reflective of just the quality of students we have in our community, and just reflective of that ecosystem of support, the teachers, the mentors, the community partners they have here in Northwest Indiana helping support the businesses they're building.
I had such an amazing opportunity. I loved getting to see everyone, and I met so many different people. I met a hairstylist that's going to help me get a patent for free, which is incredible. And I loved seeing all the ideas, and it was really an amazing experience.
So, hey, I'm Wade. The students have been inspiring, fun to follow their passion for a variety of different ideas, and I think that's just the beginning for all of them.
I would like to announce the winner of this year's pitch competition, and it is Team Ringo.
It feels great. We put so much work into this, and it really paid off, and we're just so relieved. Like right before he called it, my heart was bumping, and hearing Ringo, I've never felt better.
It feels great just to work with my friends, and we put so much time and effort into this. It just feels really great to win.
Going on behind me today is the boot camp kickoff. We have a lot of mentor sessions going on. So we have a full day of programming both Saturday and Sunday. Today, they are able to learn how to make some of their own marketing. They're getting feedback from industry leaders. They're getting a lot of really great technical advice on how to take it to the next level. And then they're also, in meeting these mentors, opening themselves up to a bigger network through their mentors. We've got other great things planned tonight. We're going to go hit the Indians game tonight. And then tomorrow, we have a little bit more workshop to go. We're going to go out to our friends out of Delara, and then also go to the IMS, and then watch some qualifications.
Age does not matter, experience does not matter. If you have an idea and if you know how to create a product or service that can solve that problem or expand that idea or just make life easier for everyone, that's what we're here to do. So keep on doing what you guys are doing, and kudos to the Innovate Within program and STARTedUP Foundation for supporting these students.
These are the brightest young minds in Indiana, right? Like they're building incredible businesses, solving problems, not just small problems. Like these are really big problems that they're trying to come up with solutions for. Just impressed from the minute I got here till the minute we wrapped up at how well all of these products and ideas are developing. Like I'm just in awe of these students and can't wait to see what they do next.
It's a blast. I love connecting with kids who have a passion and kind of that entrepreneurial spirit and love creating and doing just doing things that maybe are a little bit non-traditional. Creating something new and doing something a little bit non-traditional and have that creative spirit.
I'm Jennifer White with Five and Rise Marketing Solutions, and we are here with the STARTedUP Foundation, and we had a great group of students. We talked to them about their products, and we also had the opportunity to interact with them and share with them how to make this video. It was also really great sharing space with a bright group of future entrepreneurs as they're sharing their innovative products with the world.
First of all, it's blown away by the innovative ideas that came from these students. There were ideas and thoughts that I didn't even consider or think about, especially how we enable 5G.
I've really been able to learn how to connect with people. I don't really have a lot of experience in this area. I made a LinkedIn maybe a week ago. It's really given me the chance to develop these skills and really establish my place in this world.
Kendall Brooks here in the suite with the STARTedUP Foundation. Really impressive to see all these young entrepreneurs getting started so early. Me being an entrepreneur myself, I know how important it is for kids to see successful entrepreneurs and be in spaces like this to meet people like myself and my teammates and other people in the community that are striving and doing great things out in the world today. And to see so many young kids here is really amazing what STARTedUP has going on.
I personally would call it extremely helpful when it came to the level of feedback we got. Personally, we got a lot of feedback engineering-wise because we're doing a more engineering-based project. So I think the accommodation to that was truly wonderful, and we're able to get a lot of great insight.
Yeah, and I'd also like to I think the boot camp was both invigorating because of the engineering and technical aspects of it that we were given feedback on.
I'd like to add it was very inspirational. The opportunity just to come down here and meet with all the other teams and hear about all their projects was just super invigorating.
So this boot camp experience, first of all, I'd recommend it to anyone. What this in-person boot camp has really done for me is really helped me grasp the vision of what this could really be and what my business could be, and it's been incredibly a blessing.
So again, the best part is this isn't theoretical. There's already over 100 alumni, and that number continues to grow every single year that are actively participating, helping each other grow, and becoming a part of the STARTedUP community. So now I see we've got 4 STARTedUP alumni here. Are there any other STARTedUP alumni in the room? Do you want to pop on over here, man? Yeah, I'd love that. I'm going to ask just very briefly if our alumni could share a few words. Yeah, there we go. We got one more. I haven't seen you yet. It's good to see you, man. Yeah, so maybe if we could share just a few brief remarks about what the STARTedUP experience has meant to you, and if you're participating in the Alumni Association, just some of the resources here. You're eager. I'll pass it around. Yeah.
Okay. Just go down here.
Go whoever wants to grab it. Yeah.
Okay. How's it going? I'm Josh. I competed in 2023, and we went down to state, me and my team. And it was just an awesome experience of meeting so many people and still having those connections to this day, still reaching out to them. And whether you keep this business, whether you change it to something different, the awesome part is they're here to help you all throughout the way. And I think the best part about it is having a group of people just like this here who are my age that are going through the same exact things that I'm going through currently. So it's awesome to have.
And I'm not in this region. I competed 2022. I'm Noblesville, the Central West region. I've been trying to get to as many of these regionals as possible to try and talk about the Alumni Association to students. Just trying to talk about the incredible network and opportunity that STARTedUP provides to them. Again, I don't want to say it again, but being here is the real prize. Having access to these people, the people that they know, is just immense. I mean, myself, my life is not on the path I thought it was going to be, and these people and their resources have still helped me get onto a stable footing and great path moving forward.
Hi, I'm Kayla Davis, and Isis and I competed in 2021 with Patchables, and the Alumni Association is such a great opportunity. Whether you're going to continue with your business or not, it stays connected to you as you make your way throughout college, offering opportunities of networking, meeting business owners, working with your other peers, as Josh said. It's just so much that you can get out of it, and it helps you continue and grow and level up.
Definitely.
So I am going to be attending Purdue West Lafayette this coming fall, and the Alumni Association has helped me so immensely with connecting with people who have already gone and already been there. They understand the process, they understand what it's like there, and have really provided me resources on both a personal and business professional level that I wouldn't have been able to get anywhere else. Every single person I'm standing up with here today, I know them by name, they know me by name, they care about me as a person, and they've helped me develop so much. We grow together, we learn together, and we stay together, and that's the best part about the Alumni Association.
All right, hello everyone, my name is Alex Termini, and I competed in 2019, so I'm one of the older people here. What Innovate WithIN has meant to me, when I first started out this competition in 2019, I wanted to be an engineer. Turns out I hated calculus. And doing Innovate WithIN, it taught me that there's other ways to find enjoyment in a career. So I found business through Innovate WithIN, and that led me to doing taxes. I just finished my first tax season. It was a lot of fun. People might think it's crazy, but I had fun doing it. It's really cool to see this whole competition grow. When I competed, that wall was cut off and we didn't have that back room. Now we have this whole room, the downstairs. So it's really been awesome to see how this competition has grown and helped out so many people get the connections and get where they want to be in life. And I'm very thankful for it.
So my name is Benjamin Eberly. I competed in 2023. 728 days ago, I got my first yes, and that was in this room. And I was told that my idea meant something to someone. And all of you that are here today competing, you've already won. I know everyone keeps saying that, and maybe if you don't leave with a check in your hand, you think you haven't, but you have. You really, really have. And the best way you can continue to win is to join the Alumni Association. We're running so many events in the area, all can't take advantage of, they put it to the group. There's job opportunities, there's internships, anything that you want to do, even if you just have a question, you then have a group of people that are all like-minded individuals that want to see you succeed. It's free, you've already won that opportunity, take advantage of it. And with that, I would like to intro the next team from Hanover Central High School, Detail View.
Nice to meet you. I'm Kyle. I'm Kyle. Nice to
Hello?
meet you. Nice to meet you. I'm Kyle. Nice to meet you. Kyle. Kyle. Nice to meet you.
I think it's the wrong people. I'm not gonna lie to you. We're a detail view. Yeah. So that's I don't know if someone else we're gonna switch or not. Huh? Oh, let me think. What kind of joke do you guys want to hear about? Oh, so 2 years ago, I signed up for what I thought was study hall. Turned out to be sign language. And I said, definitely not. So I left that class and I got switched into entrepreneurship. And now I own my own business. So that's a funny joke right there. Miss Fleming told me to say that wasn't really funny to me, but. Do I still need to tell a joke? Okay. All right. My name is Mihailo Marjanovic.
And I'm Kyle Otvorovsky.
This is our product, Detail View. Oh, yeah. So our journey began in the summer of 2024 when we got the idea to start our very own detailing business. Fast forward a couple months in November, we made $10,000. Then we took a little break in the winter, and now we've made $15,000. So we ran into one problem.
So one big problem we ran into is we had a difficult time filming our point of view in dark locations while detailing cars, and we could not produce the high quality content that we wanted to create. Also, there was nowhere to keep our equipment close to us while we filmed, meaning we had to switch from filming to detailing back and forth which wasted a lot of time in the process.
So the solution to that chest strap you see right there is actually the one we use right now. As you can see, it already comes with the phone holder. We want to add LED lights for lighting, and then pouches for storage, so you can store your pouch, you can store brushes and sprays as well.
So what's the purpose of our product? We want to efficiently improve and give us the ability to boost our sales. We want to incorporate marketing and give us the opportunity to find new clients. We are also creating content for direct profit in the future, such as ad revenue from YouTube and TikTok. And at the same time, we are scaling our personal brand and our business name. So here on the left, as Mihailo already mentioned, is what we currently use for detailing. It is just a cheap phone holder that tends to fall over a lot of the times, as well as a basic shoulder strap. And here on the right is sort of a mock-up of our prototype, as there is a sturdy phone holder in the middle, as well as LED light straps on the shoulders. And there are also storage compartments on the bottom for tools and any other objects that you might need to use. And the money from this competition, from Innovate WithIN, we would be used for product development and research, as well as marketing for the product.
So our unfair advantage. Unlike GoPro, where you have to pay $300 to buy the GoPro and then buy the attachment, which is around $30, you just combine your phone with our product.
So what makes our product better than others? First, you have to look at its multifunctionality, as we're combining a phone holder, a source of lighting, and storage compartments to make a 3-in-1 product. We have an innovative design, making it very easy to use, and it has everything you need for filming, making it an all-inclusive package.
Our target audience. We want to target hands-on jobs. Number one being car detailers, because that's the ones we're most familiar with. After that, we want to move on to trade jobs, such as maybe plumbers, electricians, and even carpentry. They can film all their work and then post it on social media like we do. And then we also want to do content creators. We want them to post videos with our product and then post it on the internet.
So some traction and feedback that we got, we went to Mihailo's dad's trucking workshop, and we sort of made a rough product for them to test while they were working on trucks and cars, and we got overall positive reviews from this experience. And we also talked to our good friend Vincent from Caruso's Detailing, and he said, as I quote, "It is a fire product. As a detailer myself, I think this product will definitely help me when I want to film a quick point of view of me detailing. The lights and the little pouches make it a very cool product that would save a lot of time."
So our revenue model, this is all based on a $40 product. In the first year, we want to have 500 customers with a revenue of $20,000 and a gross profit of $12,000. Thank you for your time, and I know you guys have dirty cars, everyone in this room, so we do everything, exterior, interior. Book with us, get our number, we got you guys. We'll even give you a discount, maybe.
Okay, wow, that is a cool product. So you talked about sales last year of $10,000 and $15,000. Was that just through your detailing business, or have you already had traction because you've been using a prototype to do content?
So I was talking about through our detailing business.
Okay.
So yeah.
So no sales yet.
No sales yet.
No product.
No product yet. We are
Okay.
actually working with Mont, big guy, big man. Where you at? There he is. That's my
Okay.
guy right there.
Yeah, but during our detailing, we use a normal phone holder to film ourselves. Yep. And we plan on maybe putting that as like a product on our videos so we can sell that through social media as well.
I was curious, you have, with the lighting system you have on there, were you looking at actually selling it with lights, or are you looking to maybe measure out for specific products so they can easily clip on?
So we want the lights to be there because sometimes when you detail, you know, there's some dark spots in the car. Right. You can't really see them, and when you're filming, you want to see those spots to make sure it's clean. So that's why the lights are there for it. They're going to be on the shoulders, like in the prototype.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I wasn't sure if you're actually selling, you know, the mount with lights, or if you're just trying to make it.
Yeah, like he said, it's an all-inclusive package, so it all comes together.
Yeah, like other jobs as well, plumbers and mechanics, if they're working in dark spaces, that would be very good for them as well.
Good.
Yeah.
Great. Yep, that's what I was going to ask. So I guess you could just turn it off, though. If you were had the lights on there and you weren't in a dark space, you could turn them off. That way that they can use them for other things. Because I'm thinking makeup artists or other types of content creators as well.
Yeah.
The prototype you guys said you did for your dad's trucking company or shop. What was that prototype like? Like, was it what you guys are currently using? Did it have the lights? I guess what was the quote that he was quoting about? What product was he talking about?
So it's a very, very rough draft. I actually lost one of the pieces for it, so I didn't bring it with me. But yeah, it's just, we got some stuff from Menards, some pouches. We used that strap that I told you guys we used, and we just clipped it onto there. And then we couldn't get the lights, but they just put it on, and they used it, and they said it was actually, if we make it better, it'll be a very good product.
So he was talking about an actual product, not the idea of the product.
Yes.
In the quote. Okay, got it.
Okay, so if you win this competition, what's the first thing you guys are going to do?
Go to the mall and buy a bunch of stuff. No, I'm kidding. We're going to go.
Wrong answer.
We're going to go into product development and researching more about the product and what we can do.
Yeah, and make just a final product that we can start, going to more places and talking about it and stuff like that.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, thanks guys. So innovation is not just about what we're building, but it's about who we're preparing to build it. And like I shared a little bit earlier, the StartedUP Innovation Accelerator, our professional development program for high school teachers, one of the huge things we try to focus on is how they're able to bring real-world industry insights into the classroom. So one of the partners that we worked with recently is called Telemon Robotics, or Telebotics. They're an organization that's looking into the future of advanced manufacturing, how we're preparing the future workforce to use robots. And ultimately, it was awesome because they were able to sponsor 8 workshops for bringing Central Indiana teachers into their space to learn about how students can integrate robotics into the incredible ideas that they have. What I loved about working with Telebotics was that they weren't just about robotics. It was bringing the insights into the classroom and figuring out how they can personally build meaningful relationships with our students and teachers on building and cultivating that incredible talent pipeline. So we got a brief video to show you a little bit about what the workshops were like.
We do these workshops to kind of give an intro to collaborative robots, and at the same time, we give them the option to look at how robots interact with different applications.
This is about seeing problems and solving problems, and so this is just using robotic arms to solve a problem. The hands-on workshops are great for the kids to see that, but it's more about opening their eyes to see how people are solving problems in the real world.
What we are doing here today with these workshops and the competition and trying to guide them, showing the opportunity to capitalize on this opportunity so when they can go and pursue a career, there is a guaranteed return for them in their future.
What's really important about these workshops centered on robotics and automation is that it gives them a clearer picture of their perception of the field, which is really important when it comes to jobs in manufacturing.
Other students should participate in workshops like this is because it gives you variant things to see what you want to do in life. I want to be an industrial engineer, but somebody might came here and was like, I want to be a robotics engineer. I'm very inspired by this. So, or maybe I'll go into communications or something of that nature. And that's why I really think these programs and things that we do really impact us as youth.
All right, and now I'd like to welcome from Lake Central High School our next team, True Tints.
My name is Riley Pettit.
My name is Ron Michelanis.
And this is
True
True
Tints
Tints Clothing. My name is Riley Pettit, and I'm a sophomore at Lake Central High School.
I'm Ron Michelanis, and I'm a sophomore at Lake Central High School. I think we're all familiar with what this image is. This is an image of the Ishihara test. It is the most common form of assessing color blindness in an individual.
Now, we've talked to some people, and we've heard a lot of interesting stories. One that stuck out to me was my cousin. He is severely colorblind. He has 3 different types of color blindness, and every morning his wife has to dress him for work. Now, one morning, his wife was not there to dress him, and he works a pretty serious job in construction, so he had to dress himself. So naturally, he threw on what he thought was his work clothes and went to work. But when he showed up, everyone was laughing at him, and he finally built up the courage, and he went up to his coworker and asked, "Do I have something on my face?" And his coworker laughed and said, "No, dude, you're in bright pink."
So hearing that story, I bet you're wondering, what do colors look like to people affected by color blindness? So if you see the image on the left, this is what someone with normal vision would see. Notice the green and vibrant colors. On the right is what someone with tritanopia, which is a subcategory of color blindness, would see. Notice the lack of green now and how green is turned to orange.
This is a normal set of colored pencils, traditional Crayola. This is what someone without color blindness would see. This is what someone with tritanopia would see. And this is what someone with tritanopia would see. Notice how they're the exact same image, but they vary differently just based on your type of color blindness.
Our solution is to create a simple tag that conveys the color of an article of clothing, using a system of easy-to-identify symbols to portray a color. The symbols would symbolize a real-world color, so if you can see in the packets in front of you, I have put red, and then we use a fire truck. For green, we did grass. For blue, we did water.
Our cost of revenue is very simple. Our production of the tag would cost about $4.60. We plan to do about a 35% profit margin, bringing us to about $7.08 per tag. In our first year, we plan to do about 200 to 260 tags per month, bringing our first year revenue to about $19,000. By year 5, we plan on doing about 800 tags to 1,200 tags, bringing us to about $82,000. But keep in mind, any franchising or partnerships that we get into could greatly spike our revenue.
Our value proposition is that we empower colorblind individuals to dress with confidence. It's easier to mix, match, and coordinate their outfits easily with no stress or uncertainty of what color they're picking. And through market research, there are no established competitors trying to solve this problem the way that we are. Our innovation is that we have small, easy-to-identify tags that are simple, cheap, affordable, and the first of their kind. Some other attempts are Stitch Fix, which is not specific to colorblind individuals. It's an online questionnaire you fill out, and it sends you outfits based on your style preference. This has very mixed reviews over the accuracy of said questions. Colorblind Pal and Colorblindness AI, AR, are 2 AI websites where if I were to take a picture of an image, I click a button, and it tries to change the color so that someone with colorblindness can see better. This, again, is very mixed reviews over the accuracy.
If you take a look at this chart, this is comparing us to our competitors, such as Stick Fix, Colorblind Pal, and Colorblindness AR Solution. But if you also look at the chart, you will see we are the only product to be simple, physical, unique, affordable, highly reviewed, and actively gaining customers.
Our market opportunity is there are 12 million individuals in the US that are afflicted by some kind of color blindness. That's about 8% male and 1% female. If you look at this graph I made on the right, the pink represents the amount of colorblind individuals, which is about 12 million, compared to the total population of Indiana, 7 million, and in New York, which is about 8 million. Notice the difference in how much that is. So our total addressable market, or TAM, is about 300 million people worldwide. Our service addressable market, or SAM, is about 12 million in the US, and our service obtainable market, which is SOM, about 300,000 in Indiana.
Out of the 37 people we interviewed for this product, only one of them said they would not purchase. That is a 97% acceptance rate and only a 2% denial rate. Our mentor, Denise Redhead, told us that she believes there is a prosperous market out there for us, just waiting for us to seize it.
Our investability, if we were given the $1,000, we put about 50% of that to legal and partnership fees. As he iterated, our product would greatly benefit from any kind of partnership where we can put our product onto someone else's clothing. 30% would go to app development, as during our interview, some people asked us, why can't we make an AI machine learning app ourselves where you can make your own catalog where you can take a picture of a piece of clothing And then you can make almost an online wardrobe. And off that, it could suggest outfits for you in the morning. And then about 200 would go to prototyping, as we have a very simple design, and it would not take much to make this a finished product.
Our mentors, who are both here right now, are, as I stated, Denise Redhead, the Senior Product Manager at Visa.
And Ms. Dawn Combus, our entrepreneurship teacher back at Lake Central. Both have been instrumental in helping us, and we can't thank them enough for everything they've done.
Thank you for your consideration.
Great job, great presentation.
Thank you so much.
So I had a question. So would you actually give the tags to the customer and they would put them on their own clothing, or would the clothing come with the tags on them?
We were planning on, at first, almost doing the customer to customer or seller to customer, where we would give the tags directly to them. But we would also benefit from those partnerships where we could put our tags onto big brands such as Nike and Adidas, to where they can attack their colorblind market, and we can also attack individual people, maybe if they don't want to spend that much money on Nike or Adidas.
How do you plan on protecting your idea?
We are in the initial stages of that, so that is something that we have not fully thought into yet. That will take a bit more, probably leaning into that legal side of it, looking into how we can better patent this or find a way to keep that protected. So that is something we will have to work on.
I have two questions. So you said one of your competitive advantages, you're actively gaining customers now. Talk more about that, please.
So through interviewing and through our slight bit of prototyping, which we don't have a lot right now, but we, compared to the other apps that we showed and even Stitch Fix, they are actively losing customers. They are not gaining enough traction to keep going as a company, whereas we, through all of our interviews, are actively gaining support and people who will pledge and vouch to buy our product once it is a physical thing in stores.
Okay, but you've not sold, so until you sell, you don't have customers, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Second question, I saw how you were going to use the money. 30% was going towards app development. I got a little confused because it said one of your advantages was it wasn't an app and it was a physical product. So what is the app and why are we doing that?
The app is more of like a quality of life thing. That's something people have reached out to us about and said, this is something that it almost be more like a consultation. See, we could talk to people, see if they would agree if making this an app would truly be a beneficial thing. Because if not, we wouldn't waste assets on going deep into it. We just think that if we can do what we want to do with making an app, that it could be beneficial to make this.
All right. Hello, everybody. Can we do another round of applause for our students? You guys are incredible. And it is kind of scary up here, so you guys are awesome. My name is Allie Curtis. I'm Director of Development for the STARTedUP Foundation. And I would not be doing my job if I didn't ask you all to take action and get involved in this incredible movement of making education innovative and real world. And so we are growing and scaling every single year, and we have something for everyone on how you can get involved in the work that we're doing. So we ask you to take a look at becoming a guest speaker. All of these students and teachers that we're working with across the state, we connect them with mentors and speakers that are coming into the classroom, sharing about what they're doing, and really providing that insight to students on what life may look like outside of the classroom. So become a guest speaker, become a business mentor. A lot of the students here today have had mentors that have helped them out with their business plans. This is so valuable because they're getting that real world insight, and their business ideas have improved greatly because they have these mentors that they can rely on. We are also hosting in-class pitch competitions all around the state in our teachers' classes. So this next year, what you guys are seeing here today, we're gonna bring that into the schools. So you guys can be there to support as judges, get involved that way, and give students even more experiences to grow. Last but not least, we really are proud that this is no cost to these schools. and to the students, but this does cost money to run a statewide program. So we really rely on individuals, individual donors, foundations, as well as corporate support to make this happen, to fuel the work that we're doing. We are growing and scaling this every year, so the students that you're seeing here today is just a very small percentage of the students that we work with across the region. So this next year, we're gonna empower 150 teachers in our Innovation Accelerator, and so we have a spot for anyone to get engaged financially, as well as referring an educator to apply to be a part of the movement. So I'm gonna look at everyone, take out your phone, scan the QR code, tell us how you would like to get involved. And we really, really appreciate it because we could not do this work without you, and just forever grateful for you guys to be a part of this. So thank you all. And I have the honor of introducing our next team, Equi from Hobart High School.
Hi, my name is Abigail Bissig, and this is Equi. For around 14 years, I've been riding and showing horses. And when I ride and show, I am riding in different disciplines, from English to Western and all in between. When I'm riding and showing, I have to oftentimes change tack during and in between classes. When I'm changing tack between classes, or during classes, it's in a class called Versatility, where riders have 2 minutes to change their tack and equipment in the middle of the arena with only 2 minutes to do it. We are allowed 2 helpers, however, those helpers are changing the horse's tack while I'm changing my clothes. As I was changing my clothes when I compete, I noticed that my helpers were having a hard time finding the tack that they needed to get onto my horse, and I was having a hard time finding the clothes that I needed. When I helped a friend in the class a couple years ago, I found it hard for me to find the tack that I need to get their horse ready for show. Here are some terms that I'll be using. Equestrian is the people who own horses, ride horses, and then our tack is the gear and equipment that we use. So the problem is changing our tack and having to transport our tack around the shows and to shows as well. When we get to shows, oftentimes our trailers are parked on the opposite side of the facility, or in some cases, the opposite side of the city. This means that we have to grab all the equipment and tack that we may need for that show all at once. Now we have 2 options. We could take it in one trip, or we can make multiple trips. When we all take it in one trip, we find that our tack gets unorganized, dirty, and sometimes even missing or broken. When we make it in 2 trips, that takes time away from us getting our horses ready to show. This is where Equi comes in. Equi is a saddle rack insert that inserts right into a wagon. The saddle racks have two saddle racks, one is raised slightly higher than the other to allow for an easier fit, and we're given a triangle-shaped base to help keep the saddle sturdy when going over different terrains and going up or downhill, depending on where you're at. Now the prototype that I have up on screen is our old prototype. This is our new prototype. It's made out of aluminum and has a different shaped base. These bases on here were unsturdy, and we found that they were tipping over no matter where we would go. This base goes around the entire perimeter of the wagon to help keep it steady, and when you're running with it, going up, downhill, anywhere you go, it keeps it much more sturdy. Eventually, I would like the saddle racks to fold down so that you can move it easier and store it easier, and I would like them to have bridle racks on the front to hold the bridles, which is the head pieces of the horse, and anything else that may need to hung up while transporting. I have 4 main competitors, those being the Saddle Sherpa, which costs around $211, the Easy Up saddle cart, which is $287.99, the regular wagon, which ranges from $39.99 to $160, and his second product from the Easy Up saddle cart that is $349.99. The saddle Sherpa is foldable and has extra storage. However, it's very hard to go on different terrains and causes tack to go kind of everywhere and fall off. The first product from the Easy Up saddle cart can go on different terrains and has extra storage, but it can't fold up, making it hard for us to move it from place to place when we are going to different shows. The regular wagon, which is one of the most commonly seen ways to transport tack, is foldable and can go on different terrains, but it's just like one big bucket where everything gets thrown in and it's hard to find and can cause things to get broken. And the last product is the Easy Up saddle cart, the second one, that has extra storage, but it can't go on different terrains and it's not foldable. Equi does all of those. In Indiana alone, there are 160,000 heads of equine. This can be any animal that relates to the horse, being horses, donkeys, ponies, and mules, and many more animals. With that, there are 34,000 equine operations in Indiana that can range from stables around the state to horse shows as well. On the pie chart, it shows that 93% of these horses are worked in one way or another. This means that they have a job to do and they need the tack and equipment to do it. That means that these owners are having to move their equipment to many different places, whether they're going to shows or to competitions, to trail riding, and wherever else they may need that equipment. These are the people I want to reach. These are the riders of the horses, the grooms who take care of the horses at shows, the owners of the stables, as well as many other people who have to do with horses. The cost to make this prototype that I have with me today cost around $134.89. If I were to win the $1,000, I would like to first start with making additional prototypes. Since it costs around $150 to make each prototype, I would like to make 4 of them for a total of $600. This way I can get it out to many other equestrians, and then I'm getting honest feedback from people who are doing not just one discipline, but many others as well. I'd then like to distribute the prototypes for testing to these other equestrians, and for shipping and handling, that's around $100, and for marketing materials such as instructions and feedback forms, it's about $50, for a total of $150. With the remaining money, I would like to start filing for a patent so I can start getting Equi out to market, and which costs around, starting at $200 for an overall total of $950. I hope this showed how much of an upgraded wagon equestrians need and how Equi can do that. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Great presentation. I really love the design. Just one comment, which I thought, have you looked at like carbon fiber? You know, bikes are made out of that. Might be something very light material, but very strong. But I do like this design.
Thank you. Yeah, we've looked into many other different materials, and I landed on aluminum just because that's what most of my other competitors were doing. So I wanted to kind of see how that works out first, but I'm definitely going to be looking into other materials for those 4 other prototypes and seeing which ones work best.
Excellent product. I knew nothing about this whole industry, and you taught me a lot. I'm looking at your prototype here, and it also seems like there is an opportunity for you to capitalize on a branding play. So the little triangle here at the end, putting some type of overlay or something where you can brand with who you're targeting would be interesting. Have you thought about how you're going to approach those different places that you're targeting, and could that work?
Yeah, it could work. To reach these other equestrians who I'm trying to target, I go to a lot of different shows. I show in I don't know how many disciplines. I do it all. I find something new each day, and I'm like, you know what, let's try it. So I have a lot of different connections in those different disciplines of riding. So I would be able to meet with those riders and be like, can you, or would you be willing to try these out? And yeah, that's how I'd do it.
awesome job. Awesome to see the new prototype over what you brought last year. Because I remember last year you had the PVC, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was kind of wobbly. So I was impressed to see you change it over with this. I don't know if I saw it. How are you going to compare in cost to those other? It seems like the bigger wagons are the ones that you're competing with. Where are you lined up in pricing with them?
I would like to sell it right now at around $250, just to match with them in price. But equestrians, they're already buying these expensive saddles and all this expensive tack, including the horses and the clothes that they're wearing. So I would like to see if I'm able to cut down in cost. Like with the prototype, I put the wagon in there because I did have to buy the wagon for it, but eventually I would like it to just be an insert so that
solutions. And yes, you can follow us right now, and there might be a good chance that you'll see yourself on our social medias, our highlight reels, and honestly, a lot of our LinkedIn posts. And if you're ready to get involved, whether that's mentoring, bringing this program to your school, or partnering with us, you can reach out to us at any time at info@StartedUp Foundation or at startedupfoundation.org. Thank you for believing in these students today, and let's make sure everyone else does as well. And now, please welcome the next team, Cadence Can Shines from Valparaiso High School.
Have you ever opened your garbage can and looked inside?
With Cadence Can Shines, our mission is to provide homes and trash cans with a cleaner and healthy alternative to help to clean all these cans, to help free from germs and fungi and all of the different things that come with having a disgusting trash can.
You're not just gonna dump a bucket of water and hope for the best. Our solution is a eco-friendly disinfectant that we use with a electric pressure washer attached with a foaming unit. We also use Autoband's outdoor and yard cleaning solution, which is our eco-friendly solution. We also use a bristled hand brush to get really in there. And with our eco-friendly cleaning solution, we are safe from damaging your property and the environment.
What makes this so eco-friendly is the solution we use, Autoband, is yucca and the biological enzymes. The yucca actually has a natural detergent and cleaning solution, so we really want to implement that so households aren't getting damaged by the typical business that's using bleach and damaging people's grass and really not making it safe. And additionally, we offer affordable prices. A lot of typical people charge a 3-month program where you pay 3 months in advance and they come every month. But we offer a one-time cleaning, which is very affordable. And what we do that they don't is they charge about $35 per one-time clean. And in the next few slides, you'll see how we are very affordable and match them a lot better and more eco-friendly.
And then in order for us to figure out who and where our target market is, we decided to conduct a survey asking when was the last time that you've had your garbage cans cleaned by some sort of professional service. We got 83 responses, with 83% of people saying that they've never had their garbage cans cleaned, and 89% of people saying that they would consider getting their garbage cans professionally cleaned.
So here you see our affordable prices. One-time cleaning as needed is $20 for one can and $10 for each additional can. And any additional garbage left in the can before service would be an additional $5 charged. And for neighborhood rates, we need quotes, and for returning customers, it's $5 off our original price.
And then our cost for the solution and spray, it's $24 combined. It's about $15 for the actual cleaning solution and about $10 for the spray. And then the business flyers we handed our judges are about $12 to produce 150. I have someone that produces the card stock to have a high quality households to have. Yearly revenue, I just started this up back in last October. We made $340, which is only the past 2 weeks because you can't clean in the winter when water spigots are like shut off for the winter because they freeze over. And then that brings us to our total profit after all the costs, $530. And this is just word of mouth. And we're really going to implement business cards, door to door, and the flyers we just handed out. And we just created those last week.
Okay, and then our before and after. So each of our services take about 20 minutes, and it gets your trash cans looking from disgusting, filled with gunk, to beautiful and shiny.
And then how investable of our service and how would we use this $1,000? We would really use the money to heavily push out to audiences, normally household owners, middle age, older people, anybody with a house and a garbage can, and really explain how we're better than other people using an eco-friendly method. And that would really, I think, be a big selling point, how we're not damaging the property or anything. And then we also are going to use that towards a new pressure washer, which can get the job done a lot quicker, and then we can say yes to more clients as we go to more door-to-door, get more people done per day. And then our market size, as you can see on the survey, there's a lot of people that have never even heard about this type of business, and we think that there's a lot of opportunity for a return on investment, the money we put towards it. And we did see about 3 other businesses in the area that are doing this, but they use the typical bleach and chlorine, really damaging properties, can damage their grass. And then we also think that you will really benefit if you choose our eco-friendly services by Cadence Can Shines.
And for cleaner cans and a cleaner tomorrow, choose Cadence Can Shine.
I'm going to give you my address.
Okay.
I did not hear you talk about the cost related to labor and how you would actually quantify the expenses going door to door, driving there, and how is that kind of factored into your pricing methodology?
Yeah, so we did not factor it in, but we typically are doing that. It's going towards the more work we put in, will show the results and profit. And then her mom actually has access to ways to publicize it.
Yeah, and then we live in the same neighborhood, so we kind of have like a bunch of other neighborhoods that are around, so we don't really have to drive, which means we don't have to factor in like gas or anything like that, and just kind of go around our neighborhood. He goes around his, and then my mom has a newsletter that she does through the Valpo Chamber, and we can put that out with all of our information, so then it kind of gets out that way without having to pay for it, because it just goes out to the public.
So yeah, awesome product idea. One of my least memorable spring cleaning situations was my garbage can last year, and I remember every moment of it. So great idea. That was going to be my question as well. How's you guys? Goodwill is so it's fine when it's just you guys doing your neighborhoods. What happens when you start getting? I live in St. John. Are you guys going to come all the way out to St. John out of Goodwill to clean? So how are you guys going to scale this outside of the 3 of you?
So we have multiple different methods we could approach. So first, obviously, we can grow our employees out in different areas of either northwest Indiana or Indiana.
And then, sorry.
Yeah, so if adding employees now, so you definitely need to factor for the labor, because my first question is, you said $20, because I've had people come to my door and offer me this, and I'm saying, how can you guys possibly do it for $20? It's $1 everything else. So, are you looking into licensing? Franchising, the idea? What are your franchising? The idea? What are your ideas to take it? beyond that?
Yeah, so what I think we can do is use the
Beyond that.
Yeah, so what I think we can do is use the money to get that other employees for other cities, like use that idea, and sure I can have someone do that, give them necessary materials, and have them go out there and do that over there.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you.
All right, as we're getting ready to begin to close out today's event, we want to pause one more time before our final pitch here. And again, recognize the local champions and the partners that have come together to make this possible. As you heard from Allie and as you heard from the rest of our team, it totally takes a village. It is it's challenging, it's costly, and these are the types of partners, the types of people that come together to make this possible for our region and enable our students to build this brighter future. So those are our incredible hosts today, the Society of Innovators at Purdue Northwest and our regional hosts, the Indiana Economic Development Corporation, the Indiana Small Business Development Centers, Legacy Foundation, Circular Venture Lab, and TechPoint. And again, these are partners that just aren't providing space and support, but they are opening doors. They're showing up for our students and our teachers and helping us build a brighter future. So let's get a big round of applause for those folks. All right, and now I would love to welcome our final team of the day from Munster High School. This is Sprout.
Sprout your future, harvest your success. Hi, my name is Asha Patel, and I'm the Executive Director and founder of Sprout.
Hi, my name is Jude Jimenez. I'm a Vice Director and Managing Spanish Operations here at Sprout. This is Henry's story. As a young child, he watched as his mom struggled, and her family was in dire financial straits. She was desperate for financial information, facing often inadequate or incorrect financial information. But as he recounts, when she finally did receive good info, her whole situation transformed, and she was able to get into a home she built from the ground up. And so in Henry's own words, financial literacy is empowerment. When 1 in 5 US teenagers lack basic financial literacy skills, and when many have no economic understanding whatsoever, you know there's a problem. But later down the road, 15% of adults roll over $2,500 or more in credit card debt each month. And though in the election, the economy was rated the #1 issue, a lot of misinformation about it circulates. Clearly, the problem spans a lifetime. But Sprout addresses the root of the problem, no pun intended. We tell you the problem is a lack of educational resources, misinformation, and professionals being traditionally inaccessible due to monetary or social barriers. But 73% of teens reported wanting more personal finance education, and Sprout offers just that. We interview professionals like economics professors, investors, tax accountants, etc., and we ask them questions that are most relevant to peers our age. We also offer short courses on our website to give students prerequisite knowledge to further their financial education. And of course, we have Spanish translations on our website for all of our material because we want to serve the underserved. And we also offer a variety of community outreach initiatives like finance opportunities or economics competitions made public on our website, and we've even secured the funds to subsidize Wall Street Journal subscriptions. But let's let the professionals introduce themselves. We even had the opportunity to present to our very own teacher at our very own school, and here's what she had to say. She tells you just how applicable Sprout was for her students and how teachers across the country would be able to easily implement it into their own curricula.
But what is Sprout's unique value? Well, Sprout acts as a liaison between professionals and students, equipping students with valuable and robust financial and economic insights that they wouldn't otherwise be able to access. In that sense, Sprout is reliable because all of our information is coming directly from professionals who are uncensored. We centralize economic information, as all of these interviews and courses can be found on our website for free. And finally, we go beyond a textbook education. And when I say that, I mean that we're not just teaching graphs or charts, but rather real-world concepts with real-world professionals. When you take a look at our market competition, you realize that among all the avenues teenagers have to access financial and economic information, Sprout is the only source that also centralizes information, making it unrivaled in its current market. In terms of our traction, we are a federally registered 501c3 nonprofit organization. We've already completed 13 of our interviews, and we have a viewership of over 15 our Spanish speakers who utilize our translations. We've also worked to provide 1,500 students with subsidized Wall Street Journal subscriptions, and we have partnerships with NIPSCO and Sentier Bank through our advertising revenue model, which I'll touch on in a second. So for our current costs and revenues, this past year, we spent about $2,300 and took in about $3,300, turning a $1,000 profit to show you just how sustainable we are, and our advertising revenue model and our grants made up our revenues. So when you realize that the average US consumer holds on to a checkings and savings account for about 17 years, then you realize that banking and financial institutions need to advertise to younger demographics in order to establish a customer base. Sprout plays on that, advertising for economic and financial institutions like NIPSCO and Sentier Bank, which we've already established, and we charge a fee and generate revenue. With that revenue, we're able to increase our marketing and improve our outreach, and as we gain more viewers, we become a more desirable platform to advertise on, and we plan to reach out to more financial institutions in the future. Over the next 2 to 3 years, we believe we can. We also would like to upgrade our website capacity, as well as increase our marketing to reach over 100,000 viewers. And if we were to win today's competition, we'd like to spearhead those marketing initiatives to kickstart our advertising revenue model and grow. We'd also like to hire a web designer to make our content a little more interactive, as well as improve our SEO. And we plan to hire an additional employee as we grow and expand. We'd also like to establish a scholarship fund for students pursuing economics and finance, as we are wholly committed to our community. Although a nonprofit, we are a business, so revenues are important. We plan to apply for federal and state grants, and we project that we could achieve 20 different advertising partnerships over the next 2 to 3 years. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, very good, very great, good presentation. Question, so, and I might have missed this, you might have said it, but how much is it for a student if they go online, I guess, and enroll, or?
Yeah, here at Sprout, we do not believe in monetizing education, so it's completely free for students to use this, as well as teachers to access this, and all of our revenue is coming from grants and as the advertising revenue model, which we believe that students need to hear about banks and services like that, and banks need to advertise for them, so we act as this liaison.
Kind of going along with that, first, amazing idea. You're totally right. I think we see as a society that this is a major gap. So awesome idea. So you said 15,000 in revenue, or 15,000 students now, and 35.50 in revenue. So that's coming out to like 22 cents a student. So how are we getting to $50,000? I know you said grant money, but at the same time, how many students do you need to get to that point?
So, sorry, I might have misspoken, but I meant $15,000 we can turn a profit. I don't know if I can.
I saw 50,000 in revenue at the bottom.
Revenues.
Yeah.
So we believe that our 20 different advertising partnerships will supplement part of that, and then as we grow, we qualify to apply for different grants at the state and federal level, as well as private grants. So some of those would be like the Legacy Foundation or the community foundations that we have in Northwest Indiana. So we plan to scale to Indiana, and then hopefully nationwide at some point.
That was my question about scaling, so very good to hear that.
We actually
We actually have a slide on scalability.
we figured that it only makes sense for us as a nonprofit. Our viewership counts as our traction. So there are over 20,000 high schools in the United States, and we believe that if we were to target our marketing, not who can implement this into their curriculum, it's a really good supplemental material, I believe, then we'd have plenty of market share to be able to scale.
Yeah, and our product is like on the back of the QR code on our business cards.
Yeah, go ahead.
So if you do get to that stage where you're scaling and it's nationwide, it's going to take infrastructure to run your nonprofit. So have you already kind of modeled out what that would look like? What kind of resources would you need? How would you guys be actually compensated for your work, given that it's a nonprofit?
Yeah, so although a nonprofit, we are still employees. We still do.
Foundation really exists to help students learn how to deploy an innovator's mindset. A lot of times that can be put into action through entrepreneurial pursuits. Innovate WithIN is the nation's largest high school pitch competition, not only in prize amount, but also in size. We anticipate 3,000 students this year participating. What we've found is that students need more opportunities to really identify authentic problems. So the more you practice anything, strengthening any muscle, whether it's for sports, for music, or for entrepreneurship, the more you practice seeing problems as opportunities, the better you're going to have a chance of finding a problem worth solving. So connecting students' passions to gaps that exist in the market, that's why we do what we do.
One of the main takeaways I got from today was that even if I think I have all the answers, I don't. I really have a lot more research to do, I have a lot more to do, I have a lot more to look into, and I need to have all the answers.
It's important to start to share the possibilities at a younger age, right? Because we know that our younger demographic, they're capable, they're ready, and they're interested in small business, in entrepreneurship. They have the ability and the skill sets to really do some incredible things for the future. So if we're talking about trying to help affect for a brighter future, it's incumbent upon the Society of Innovators, an organization like STARTedUP, to share that vision sooner.
We've been interested in entrepreneurship and innovation.
Good to see you guys. I was also asked to share a great at the request of 5 of you, one of the better dad jokes that landed last year that was started by our own Kevin Shamel. We're surprised that no breakfast place here in Hammond has ever started a breakfast place called Hammond Eggs. Why hasn't that happened? It needs to happen. If any investors want to start a breakfast and lunch place called Hammond Eggs, please call me. 20% on the branding. All right. First of all, I will get into the how difficult it is to be a judge, and you guys can get into that. But I wanted our judges to say a few words first before we make our announcements. So, DJ, you want to kick it off?
Yeah. So, I had a couple comments that I was asking some hard questions, and I do that specifically because life is hard, and I think a lot of Sprout showed it with their presentation is that in high school you're kind of living this bubble, and when you get in the real world you're going to get slapped over and over. So I try and make things a little more difficult for you because if I don't ask you today, God forbid you're going to get all the way to your prototype or someone willing to give you money for your product, and you didn't get asked that critical question too early. I think we've seen that on Shark Tank in real life more than once. So for me, again, it really came down to it. You guys had great presentations. You did an awesome job. But if you're taking one thing away, really developing that entrepreneur mindset and thinking like that entrepreneur, it's not about the idea. It's not about the business. You don't have to own a business. You don't have to have an idea. Showing up as an employee with that entrepreneur mindset, if you solve problems, you're going to be so valuable to everyone around you, and not just at work, in your marriages, with your friends, with your relationships, all that stuff. If you just learn how to solve problems that aren't necessarily your fault, you're going to go far. So great job to everyone who did it today. And sorry if I was too hard on anybody, but deal with it. That's life.
That's hard to follow. Hope somebody got that on tape. That's a good one. I think it was Walt Disney that once said, everybody needs a couple good failures in their life. So nobody here has failed by any means. Everybody needs to know that they've succeeded, because stepping up to the challenge is probably one of the greatest things that you'll ever do. Doesn't matter if you work for some big company and every Monday you feel like you're just a number in some office, or you've worked your way up from that position and you're an executive VP, or maybe you started your own company and you're the CIO and the inventor of great things. At some point you're going to do something and you're going to think, yes, this is the best, and it doesn't turn out the way you want, and it's going to feel crushing, and it shouldn't, because you've learned so much there that your next idea is going to take you, that next mile. And that's exactly what Walt Disney meant by that. I've watched a lot of videos of how many times he failed as in started big and went bankrupt, lost his studios, lost all kinds of things. And if you look at how massive that company is now in the media, and all the franchises they've got of toys and theme parks and all kinds of things, cruise ships, that's one of the biggest companies that's out there. To be able to take a lesson away from somebody that founded it, to know that it's okay not to do well, it's okay not to succeed at a specific venture. So if anybody feels that way today, please don't. This was a great output from everybody. So many awesome ideas. We're really impressed with everything that was delivered to us. All the presentations are outstanding, and everybody's got something to be proud of today.
So we got into a big fight when we were judging. No, we didn't. We all, same thing what they said. One thing I'd like to just put out there, not everybody has to be an innovator to be a business owner, right? And we were talking in another forum about how many businesses in Northwest Indiana are great established businesses, but their owners want to retire. They want to take a break. So you don't have to be an innovator necessarily to be a business owner, an entrepreneur. So we encourage you to look around and see what the opportunities are. But to everybody in this room in the contest, your innovation was awesome. Can't wait to see what happens next with all of you, especially the ones that don't move forward. That's what really makes the difference. If you don't get the yes today, it's just a matter of time. It's up to you just to find the yes. So congratulations.
So I've done 2 casting calls for Shark Tank and ended up on the cutting room floor. But Mont, who was successful on Shark Tank, there was I think he said it was a 45-minute pitch, but there was only a few minutes on TV. And I recently just lost $1 million business that was hacked by China, and I had a patent. So don't think that a patent is going to save you, because it's not. Unless you have the attorneys to back it up and millions of dollars in the bank, it's not. But what keeps you going is your passion for doing what you're doing. So just keep going. And no doesn't mean no, it just means not now.
All right. Very good. Not to belabor the whole if you're here, you've won. I also have to say, if you're here as a student watching, this is the kind of culture we're trying to build. We're excited that so many students showed up to support your friends as well. This is a growing thing, and we want you to, again, have that mindset of seeing a problem as an opportunity. I also, again, want to thank Society of Innovators in Purdue Northwest. My gosh, we've been talking all morning about the ecosystem of support here. There was talks of summer camps. There's talks of, other pitch competitions. There's so many mentors here. There's people that have been on Shark Tank. And it's all, so many things are right here in Northwest Indiana. And the level of support you'll get, if, again, should you not even place today and you pitched, but you didn't even make it to the regional, there's so much support here. Please take them their word for it. Also, I will have to say that if you're first place, even if your team is not selected in first place, we are going to name a wild card. And I also have to say, please consider coming to the state finals June 20th in Indianapolis at Butler University. And we'd also love the opportunity to share other ways we can support students and educators. So if you can ever want to go to the STARTedUP Foundation website or connect with some of our team members here, we are growing because the teacher network. We have a couple core beliefs. Number one, students see problems as opportunities. And number two, nobody knows more people than teachers, factually speaking. So in a day and age where we're talking about it's not what you know, it's who you know, dear God, connect with your teacher and they know everybody. And because they're the good teachers, I shouldn't place, because they're great teachers, they have a network that people will give time to that teacher. So just know that your teacher network is at the core of what we do. There's also kind of an awkward thing. We've never done this before. This is literally in 8 years, we've never done this. And that we had the most razor thin of margins, and I'm seeing a bunch of nodding heads. So we are preemptively naming the wild card today. Because essentially the razor thin margin, that is not to say that there couldn't be another wild card from this region as well. But we've never had something so close. So while we have a first place, we have an additional, they get the golden buzzer. I think we're going to refer to it as we have a golden buzzer today because it's never been that close. Again, thank you to our judges for, yikes, that's been difficult. So the winner of region, the Purdue Northwest region is Safety Glow. Picture. Go. All right, and the let's just get it over with and name the wild card right now. Also gets that's awesome. All right, also gets $1,000 per team member. Dan gets the all expense trip paid to Washington D.C. for Munster High School Team Septto. CPO. Septto. As they approach, again, sometimes we have regions where there is a huge gap between first and fifth. That is no. Congratulations to you all. This was an unbelievably close. Come on up. And sincerely. Actually, Austin, I should have you. Oh, he's already being interviewed. Guys, would you like to say a few words?
Thank you. We appreciate it. We just want to say thank you to all our mentors and everybody who's helped us get to this point with Septto. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm really happy to be here.
Again, that's also to say after all of the events are over, then we have 4 wild cards. So now we have 3 wild cards because we preempted that. So stay tuned, and we'll be announcing that as soon as the competitions are over. Other than that, say some good words about these students. Provide some help. If you know a person that knows a person, provide some help. Also, our judges will be sticking around for a little bit. If you have any questions, you can always ask them a few. And and we also have the feedback cards up here. If you want to get those as well, we'll have them up at the front. Other than that, from the bottom of our heart here at StartedUP Foundation, thank you guys so much for showing up. Thank you guys so much for supporting our teachers and also our amazing students. Thank you. Have a great day.